What's up, guys? Today we're in the shop installing a tether kill switch on our ATV. Now, if you have a sport quad, I recommend having one of these safety devices installed. It can help prevent a dangerous situation. Now, with these, you've got a couple different styles. You have switches that are normally open or normally closed, and depending on what ATV you have, whether it's battery powered or not battery powered, will determine on how this gets hooked up. So we'll cover that once we get in there, but we've made it easy for you guys. You can type in your year, make, and model, and most machines, it will tell you which switch you need. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started. The tools you need for this job will depend on what machine you have. For us, we need a 3mm Allen and a digital multimeter. We're also going to be soldering our connections. So we've got our soldering iron, solder, and heat shrink tubing. Other machines, you might be using an electrical eyelet and some wire taps. We also have wire strippers, side cutters, a test light, and a heat gun to shrink our heat shrink tubing. We have several options for tether kill switches on our website. There's different colors, different brands, and the normally open and normally closed kill switches are going to look similar, but they are different. So again, look at the description to see what it is, and if you're still not sure, you can type in your year, make, and model, and that's going to make everything really simple for you to do and get the correct kill switch. So we've opted to go with this Tusk power pole tether kill switch. So let's go over to the machine and get it installed. So the first thing you want to do is look at your stop switch. You're going to follow these wires back to your first connector. So for us, we need to remove this front cover to gain access to our connector. And for us, we're going to have to disconnect the key switch as well. So now that we have that cover off, we've followed this wiring coming from the kill switch down to this connector. Sometimes they can split, so it's really important to refer to your wiring diagram and find out which wires go to the stop switch. So for our machine, we have a black wire with a white tracer and a black wire coming from there. We need to locate those two wires, which are in this connector. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this. And I've got a cable tie holding that there. I'm going to free that up. And then what we're going to do is use our ohm meter, and we're just going to put it on the sound setting, and we're going to check continuity between these two wires that go to the stop switch, and we're going to see if we have continuity in the run position or in the off position. So we don't have any continuity in the run position. I'm going to flip the switch to stop. We do have continuity. You can hear the meter. We've got 2 ohms. So when we moved our stop switch to the off position, we had continuity through the switch. So that tells us we need a normally open tether. So to tie that tether in, what you're going to do, you're going to intercept the wire coming from the CDI. You want to reference your wiring diagram to determine which wire that is. So once you've intercepted that, the other wire from the tether is going to be grounded to the frame. Now, if you have a battery powered machine, or if you had continuity with the stop switch in the run position, you can cut this wire and then tie one end of the tether to each side. We recommend soldering those wires in. And on that style of ATV, you can look at your wiring diagram and verify that power runs through that switch in order for the system to operate. Now that we know where we need to run our wires, we need to mount the switch onto the handlebars. So right here is looking like a good spot for us. We could also run it down here, doesn't really matter. So we're going to use a 3mm Allen to remove those screws. After that, we'll undo those wires and run them down to our mounting locations. And as we route these wires, we're just trying to follow the stock wires, and that way we avoid any sharp edges, pinch points, or rotating parts. So with these wires ran, you have two options. You can use a wire tap and tie into each one, but a better connection is going to be if we solder it. So we're going to cut each wire one at a time and splice into these. So to get these wires soldered together, we've got so many wires that I couldn't twist them all together. So I twisted two of these together, and then that third one coming from the connector. We just applied solder to each end and then heated this up and melted that solder together. Now ideally you'd be able to twist all of these wires together and then apply the solder, but in either case, you want to firmly pull on each side of the wire and make sure that that is not going to come apart. Once you've done that, you can slide that heat shrink into place and use your heat gun to shrink it down. So with that wire done, we're just going to do those same steps on the second wire. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is the whole key to soldering this way is making sure you have plenty of extra solder on both wires before you heat them together. Now the next step for us is to make our connection. We're going to reinstall our cover and test the switch out. So we started the machine up, pulled the tether, it killed the engine, so we know everything is working correctly. Now if this style of setup doesn't work for your machine, then there is one more way you can hook this up. So the next option you have is to use a normally open switch, and you can tie in to your pickup coil coming from your stator. So what we've done, we've just traced the wires coming from the stator, and we've used our wiring diagram to determine which wires are our pickup coil wires. So that's going to be our white with a red tracer wire and our black wire. So we're just going to disconnect this white with red tracer wire, and we're going to use a test light. We'll probe it, kick the machine over. If you have electric start, just hit the starter button and make sure that you have power coming from this. So on the kickstart model, that was a pretty dim light on this, but it did light up, so that verifies that this is our pickup coil. And we can splice into it the same way we did up at the kill switch. We can solder into it or use that wire tap, either one. So that means we're going to have one wire from that tether tie right into there, and then the second wire, you're going to run this to a clean chassis ground. That means there's no paint on it or grease or anything like that, and then you want to source an eyelet and just bolt that on. And that's all there is to installing your tether kill switch to your ATV. If you have any questions about the install process, leave those down in the comments below. And again, if you need to pick one of these up, we have several options on our website, so go check that out and subscribe to our channel for more helpful content. I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Thanks for watching.